Day, day 7. Guys, beautiful Sunday morning. I am super happy. Like, I woke up to my sister telling me that she has a boyfriend. And now, the reason I'm so excited about that is because, um, I'm not gonna, wait, actually, let me think about how I want to say this. I don't mean to put her business out there at all. Okay, I'm gonna say it in a very general way. So a couple weeks ago, or maybe over Christmas break, she was here staying with me, and she kind of told me and my girlfriend that, she's been single for like 5 years, and she's just like, she feels ready, like she wants to have a relationship, and she's just like, she's tired of waiting. Like she's like, man, I just want a relationship, right? And like, I had to tell her like, if you think that you need a relationship, or you're finding yourself like being like, you're coming from a state of lack, or that you need this thing, like you're gonna keep finding yourself in precarious situations, or situations where like people are kind of stepping over your boundaries and stuff like that, because you're coming from a place of need, and so you're gonna take whatever comes your way, right? And so she was telling me all this stuff, and that and I was just like, I just told her, be still, like just be great, have a lot of gratitude, be like, you have so, if a couple of years ago you told yourself now where you're at, like that person would not believe you. Like you're in such a great place, and you're living your best life, and you have so many friends, and like you have more friends than you can even imagine. You have too many friends where like you don't even know who to spend time with, and so like it was really about just having her acknowledge like, oh, I don't need anything. And then she called me like a couple of days after that, and she's like, oh, like Nick, what you said like makes sense. Like I understand. Like I don't need anything. Like I don't know. I was coming from a place of like I need a relationship, or like I need this thing, but I don't need anything. Like I have a beautiful life. I don't know why I'm coming from that like energy level, right? She didn't say it that way, because she's much more pragmatic than me and logical. And so yeah, for her to text me this, it's weird, because it's like once you let go of your wants and your desires, and you let go of all of this, and it's like more so when you want something, you desire something. When I think, let's just like say something like, I want to have $1 million, and I think about that idea, and I get this feeling. You get that feeling of excitement, of high energy, and you're like, oh my god, this is like, when I get this thing, everything's gonna change. And like, you're missing the crucial step, that is that the feeling that you're really just wanting that feeling. Like it's the feeling that you want, not the actual thing. It's more so like you want the feeling that the thing's gonna get you. And while you're wanting that feeling, you're actually feeling the feeling. So in reality, that feeling that you want so badly, that you think this thing's gonna give you, is always accessible to you. It's accessible through gratitude practice, or through just like doing some vision, like just being imaginative, or having a vision. And so like, it's like what I talked about yesterday, where like being in alignment is just one just a self-awareness away, right? Like being in alignment is just like a moment's away of you being like, oh wait, I am in alignment. It's just telling you, it's just like acknowledging that, right? And so it's the same thing. It's like all my wants and desires, it's really just like these, I just want the feeling that this thing's gonna give me. But I can always like, I'm an alchemist, what I mean? I can always like transmute, or I can conjure up this, that's the word, I can conjure up this feeling whenever I want. And so that's why through gratitude practice, you kind of get to this place. And there's this like weird thing that happens, is like, when you realize that all you wanted was the feeling, and you start to really continuously like give yourself that feeling and sit with it. Like if I I want that $1 million, and I think about that $1 million, and I get to that feeling, and then I remove the $1 million, and I just sit with the feeling detached from all it is. I just kind of sit there. I'm like, this is, oh wait, like you feel so grounded. And so for her, it's like this weird thing where the thing that just happened to her, where now she has a boyfriend, once she let go, and when she realized she just needed to be still and be a tree, and and having a lot of gratitude, and being like, I have everything I've ever wanted, like I don't need anything else, like that pattern, and then getting the thing that you wanted, right? Like having it naturally unfold. Like this pattern has happened recently, like so many times in my life. Like a couple years ago, my mom was like really struggling, and she was like going out of her way to do, like she was trying to like find a new job, and so she was like doing these interviews, and like doing everything in her power and kind of like going outside of herself and like being like, I need this thing, like I don't feel good about myself, I need this job, I need, like, why is nobody saying, why is nobody accepting me, why is like, and I just went in her room and I was like, dude, you just gotta be a tree, right? Like, a tree doesn't like beg the birds to come to its branches. It just is so beautiful, and it's such a great place to be, that the birds come naturally, and that the, you know, that the animals burrow inside of it, and that there's a whole ecosystem built from this tree, and the tree never, like, even when it's winter and it loses all of its leaves, it doesn't beg for more leaves. It just acknowledges like, oh, I'm just in the season of shedding, and I'll be in the season of growing soon, and then I'll be in the season of blooming, right? And so, like, telling her that, she was like, it clicked, and then she all of a sudden, dude, she got like, she just became a consultant and had like 9, you know, had all these companies like wanting her, and now she's like, she's a big wig. She's a big wig now. She's a big wig person now. She's so successful, and I'm so proud of her, right? And it's really, it comes from a place of being grounded, and like, other than that, for me, like, after my first relationship, I was single for like 4 years, and then during the last like 2 years of me being single, I started like dating again. But it was always like, I would find myself in situations where like, I was going after people or like women that like wanted nothing to do with me. But like them wanting nothing to do with me made me want to pursue them more, because I was like, I need you. Like, why don't you love me back? Like, love me. Like, I need you to tell me you love me, or I need you to tell me you like me. And the thing is, and that kept happening, right? That kept happening like on repeat. And then finally, I went on this date with this girl, and we had a very good date. It was like 4 hours long, and we talked so much. And then afterwards, we made our Google calendars because we were both busy, and we tried to schedule out dates. And then I never heard from her again. And I think beforehand, I would have reached out and be like, yo, what about me? Like, you know, what's going on? Like, why don't you like me, or whatever it is? And this time I was like, oh, I feel great about myself. Like, it's okay. Like, there's just not resonating. Like, we're not resonating with each other. We're not for each other, and that's okay. And then literally the next week, I met my partner now. The love of my life, Julianne. I met her like a week later. Once I let go of the I need a relationship, she just came about. And for her, when I told Julianne this, she said to me that right before she met me, she just got out of a super long situationship, and she kind of just went on a date with me, because she was just like, I had no expectations. Like, we were just gonna go on a date. Like, I didn't think of like, oh, I'm just gonna build this stuff up and we're gonna have this great life together and all this stuff. Because she was saying the last couple times she had situationships, she would do that, and she would build up the mountain, and then be more attracted to the mountain and more attached to the mountain than the actual person in front of her, right? Or her in front of her. And so when we dated, she was super present because there's no expectations, and this kind of happened, and I found, you know, we found each other through essentially groundedness. And the last person was like my really good friend Angeli. She kept having these situationships, and then finally she was like at a spot where like she was almost like asking like for a dude to like, you know, spend time with her or talk to her more and stuff like that. And then I was like, dude, you know, and she kind of realized, she's like, wait, what am I doing? Like, I don't need any of these people. Like, I'm okay. Like, I'm doing great. And I don't know, she kind of like let go. And then like the next week she had a boyfriend, and they're like in love. Like, it's crazy. And I don't know. It's just this thing that it's a universal law, and it's strange to say that, because I know, like, well, when you see this law repeated so many times, not in just my life, but like in everyone else's life, you're kind of like, oh my God, there is something that is true about realizing you don't, like, everything you've ever wanted, you already have. Because all you ever wanted was a feeling, and anything anyone ever wants is truly like a feeling of freedom, a feeling of contentment, or of love, or happiness, or elation. It's like, or, you know, gratitude. It's like all anyone's ever wanted was that feeling. And now obviously, like, okay, I'm speaking from a very privileged position, and I understand out of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like, there's obviously people that aren't getting the basics of like food, water, and shelter. And so like, I'm not talking about like, you know, they should express gratitude for their life, and then the water will come. Like, I don't find that, that's really messed up to say. That's like really like, what's the word, like out of touch. I think it's more so like for the people, what I think it's, yeah, I did talk about this in another video, where it's like people born into privilege, you don't need to outwardly always be like, I'm so privileged, because that don't really do anything for anyone. It's more so like through expressing gratitude, you just realize how much you have, and so like that is the best you can do as a privileged person, is be like, oh my god, I express gratitude. And a lot of times through expressing gratitude, it's going to make you want to go have change on the world or make an impact in your small community, or like, because you're like, your cup is overflowing, right? You're like, I have so much gratitude, like, and then you just go hang out with like some temporarily unhoused individuals, or whatever it is. And so obviously, like, people like, I'm definitely not. What I'm not saying here is like people in the Gaza Strip, like if they just express gratitude to them, then their life's gonna be great. Like, no, that is a horrific thing that is happening. Children are like people. It's just, I am not speaking about that at all. Like, but what I'm saying is like these people are born into such a bad situation where a lot of times their life expectancy is so low that it's like, oh, what can we do, and what can I do in my little life to like go impact these children? Like, how can I go save these children? Like, what? And people get real apathetic because they're like, I can't really make a change in the world. I can't really do anything for these people. And so instead, you spend all day scrolling and you looking through these horrific things, and what it's doing is, it's not helping anyone, because it may help in the sense of like if you're giving them view time and you're kind of giving people view time who then donate the money to these places. Yeah, that's helpful. But a lot of times it's not helpful because like you get into kind of paralysis or you become apathetic or cynical or desensitized to these things because you're just consuming it all day, and because of that you stop to care. Or it starts to really, or it can negatively impact you, where your own energy is now being got, instead of a point of abundance in life and love, through watching all this horrific stuff that's going on at all times throughout the world, you start to get to a place of hopelessness. And if it's a battle between rich or poor, I guarantee you the rich are very happy to have a bunch of have the poor class in a place of learned hopelessness or despair, right? And so it's not that I can go directly make a change in Gaza. It's not that. It's that through expressing gratitude for what I have in this life and understanding how blessed and privileged I am, I can now have this cup that I can go, I can go and make a change in my own community. Even small changes, which is just like small things, which is just like telling someone at the grocery store like how lovely they look. Like, dude, it was a Sunday and at Publix, like last Sunday, like there was this woman that was like dressed in the most insane glam ever. Like, I know she just came from church. It almost looked like she came from the Derby. She had the hat on, everything, and I just had to tell her like, what's up. And yeah, that's not saving children in Gaza, right? But it's making these small changes in your community. And so over time, as more like single individuals are making having this gratitude or having this love you're spreading this love around, oh, now you have like these groups of people that are loving, that are pushing towards this goal or whatever. And yeah, then you can start to make those changes. Now you're partnered with the Red Cross, and now you're sending money and food and supplies over to the Gaza Strip or wherever and whatever. I'm just using that example because it's really pertinent right now. But you don't get a place, you don't make changes in the world. You don't get to make positive changes in the world when you are like constantly consuming really horrific media and then telling yourself there's nothing you can do about it. And I feel like a lot of people in America are at that point now with not just like foreign relations things. It's more like we're in this place because of even things that are happening in our own country. I mean, like every day there's like a new executive order, or like every day it seems like there's a new change being made, or something's being unveiled, or like there's always something going on. And so I think a lot of times for the American people, more specifically like leftists or more democratic, but they're kind of like in a state of hope. Like, what do we do? These people have taken over and these things are happening. And yeah, a part of that could be true, and then another part of it is like they're just consuming so much like fear-mongering propaganda from the left and the right that they genuinely believe like the world is over and that everything's hopeless and helpless. And it's like, man, the rich have got us exactly where they want us. we're hopeless. You know, some of us are hopeless. Some of us are excited about, you know, whatever it is, and I don't know. And so I think, yeah, like we gotta be more grateful. We gotta be more hopeful. We can make change. Like there's a lot more, you know, working class people than there are of rich class, of the wealthy class, and so they're scared of us pulling up and getting together. And yeah, they're throwing out every single technique in the book to like separate and to divide the people. But I think in my lifetime, I will see a United States of America, all right, a united nation, a united working class. Um, I mean, we have it in our DNA, bro. It's with us. I mean, the freaking Tea Party, the Boston Tea Party. We got this, the Civil War. We got like, obviously that was, but I'm saying we have like revolution in our bones. Like it's there, um, and I mean you can see things happen around the country, around the world. Like, you know, South Korea, that was a huge thing that happened. Um, in France is always doing its thing, right? So I don't know. I think back to the main point, back to getting to the center is like, is like that Timothy Chalamet quote where he's on an interview with Zendaya and he was just kind of like, once you realize that life is coming from you, not at you, like things change, but that it takes time, and it's true. It's like you can get to a state. I'm trying to get there. We're like you're aware that you are the creator of what you're experiencing as well as the observer. Like you're creating and observing at the same time, which is an insane thing. So you're almost creating. You're creating from a subconscious and then observing from a higher self. Like it's like this weird thing, and so. It's like when children, like, okay, let me use. I'm trying to think of a good example. Like a super self-deprecating person, right? Like this was totally me, like really not that long ago, and sometimes still even is. Sometimes that voice is there, right? And anytime something happens in my life or not happens in my life, I will attribute it to myself, right? So even things where it's like I have a day off and I'm just gonna spend that day relaxing, and then instead of relaxing, I'm spending that whole day like in my head being like, I should have gone to the gym, I should have cleaned the house, I should have worked out, I'm a piece of shit, right? And you start to like go down this rabbit hole, and that's only because my self-conscious is holding the identity in my childhood self. My inner child is holding the identity in the belief that I am a bad person and that I am not worthy. Just because of that, I am now going out into the world and finding anything and everything that proves that truth to be true and proves that belief to be true, and then telling myself that. When in reality, it's like I'm just sitting at home. Like in truth, I'm just saying, yeah, I should go to the gym, but I never thought that I was going to go to the gym today. Like, why am I even bringing up, like, oh, you should have, like, done pottery classes. Like, it's like, why is my brain saying I should do stuff that I had no intention of doing anyways? It's like your brain's just, like, saying stuff to make you feel bad because it's like you want to, your belief is that you're not worthy and you're not good enough. So, of course, your brain is doing what a good brain's going to do and confirm what you believe. So you continue to believe it. And so you're creating a false subjective, not false, you're creating a you're creating a subjective experience that is, I am unworthy, I am unloved, and now I will go out into the world and my mind will find anything and everything that tells me so. And so that's right, you're creating a reality that you're a bad person, and you're observing it at the same time. That's like, oh yeah, I am a bad person, right? And I mean, you can use internal family system. There's a lot of ways to kind of start the healing process of that, right? Because it's really just a little kid that believes they're not good enough, and you just have to, it's up to you to reparent that kid. until it's too late. And that's why you see like these really like, you know, people in their 50s, 60s, 40s that are just like really mean people that are like not curious about life, people that are like, yeah, that are just kind of hateful, right? It's really just because like there's a little kid that got shut down too many times. They got told to, you know. Okay, I don't know how long I was talking after it ended, so that kind of sucks, but I think the last thing I just want to say is like, it's a beautiful ass Sunday. I'm having a great time. Willow, if anyone's worried about her, she's doing okay. I realized that I'm such an idiot because like I looked up on Reddit. Okay, what do you feed? Like, what do you feed your dog when she has a really upset stomach, like a gurgling stomach? Like, what you know? And they're like chicken and rice or egg, you know, plain chicken and rice, and then or eggs, whatever. So I fed her eggs. I fed her like 3 eggs, right? She then threw up the eggs, and then she like was just she threw up like twice, and then dry heaved for like a lot of the day. Her stomach pain went away, and then I talked to my friend Jamil, who's a he's like very versed in the dog world, and he does training and he does dog training and stuff like that. And he was like, dude, he's like, he's like, why would you give your dog? He's like, you shouldn't have. If she was throwing up, you don't feed her at all. I was like, what? I was like, but I looked at it on Reddit. He's like, well, yeah, those people are dumb. Like, do they not know that on average people feed their dogs just like mostly kibble? Like he's like, you gave your dog with an upset stomach a food that she's never had before. Like, and I was like, yeah, you're totally right. Like, that's so messed up. He's like, you know, if you were to give your dog like a new food, you have to do it in ratios. So like if you introduce eggs, it has to be 90% her kibble, then 10% her eggs, and then 80, 20, 70, 30, 40, 60, you know, whatever it is. And I was like, dang. So I haven't fed her since then. She's been absolutely okay. She's doing wonderful. She slept in her own bed. She usually sleeps with me, but she slept in her own bed. She was just not feeling good. Other than that, I realized when I just like looked at where I stopped, I had like Nutella in my mustache that whole video. So I'm sorry if that's fucking gross. And last day, dude, I'm so happy my sister has a boyfriend. Like, if I could explain to you why it's like amazing, it's just no. But I'm not telling other people's business. It's amazing for my family. Let's just say that. It's just amazing. I'm so happy for her. It's like, and I know she's probably so ecstatic. Cause dude, it was literally like, I don't even know if she went on dates with this person. I think it was like in the same way that all my other friends and myself have found our partners, which is, I don't know, you just find someone, you're like, this is my person, like right then and there. Like it's just like there's not even a question about it. It's not because you like need them so badly, and then you're just gonna tell yourself that anyone's that. It's just like, no, you really find the right person. You're like, dude. And when me and my girlfriend's like first or second date, I was like, how I feel about you now is how I always feel about you, and it has stayed true. I don't know why. I just like loved her from the first. I just loved her instantly. Like she was everything I've ever wanted, and not even about what I want. It's even more than that. She's just like a wonderful person. Like, even something small, like she loves to babysit, and seeing her babysitting is like, and just her telling me about all the things she does babysitting. I'm like, dude, she's gonna be such an amazing mother, and like, I don't know, it's just anything she does in life. She's very creative. She can paint. She can sing. She has a beautiful voice, and she won't ever sing in front of people. But she can play piano. She can, dude. She's in choir. She's amazing. I love her, and so I don't know. I'm very happy that my sister is getting has someone in her life that sees her, and that she's a boyfriend. Like that's crazy. Anyways, y'all, have a beautiful Sunday. I was wanting to go and get crunk and kind of get, turned up with some frat boys for the Super Bowl. And then I realized the Super Bowl's at 6:30 p.m. Like, dude, I have work tomorrow. Like, why would they not make the Super Bowl Saturday at 3:30? Like, why would they do that, dude? Well, I guess it's because the Super Bowl is more catered towards, like, rich people for some reason. Like, I'm talking about, like the people that can buy the tickets. Because, like, tickets are, like, $10,000. It's like, okay. So I don't know. Oh man, it kind of sucks for people that gotta go to work on Monday. It's like, dang, because it's not gonna end till like 10 o'clock. I guess that's not that bad. But if you're like gonna get drunk or something, that's just, you don't want to have a hangover before work. Anyways, y'all, boys, girls, trans, they, them, non-binary, Zer, anyone. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Stay blessed in a non-religious way. Be grateful. I love you guys. And day 7, baby. First full week of videos. And I'll be back tomorrow.